Revolt! Because there's no other option. And the alternatives are stark. Spread thin like a sliver of moon at its moment's last wane, screaming through backlit clouds with ironclad hands, revolt! The time for awakening is right now. It's our duty, nay, obligation, calling to rip the stones from the cobble streets and cast them with our everything. Stronger, harder, faster, and longer than any band of revolutionaries, we must fight as mercenaries for our freedom. But in reality, not even Lady Liberty can liberate the ignorant, the unwilling, the lazy from their couches, even when their lives are at stake. What then when the world spins counterclockwise, thrusting the unprepared entirety off balance? Who will remove the indefatigable thorn that will surely cause even the most devout to doubt? Or will it be too late? The structure too tall, the myopia too deep, the pebbles too small? What then when a tyrant has us in his grasp? Have we learned nothing from history? But how could we when Orwell's 1984 has taught us nothing more than fiction? Napoleon, Stalin, Hitler, what will it take for the masses to wake up and realize that the Antichrist is not going to shop at Hot Topic? So stop criticizing angst-ridden souls who rip up their clothes just to safety pin them back together. A tyrant will be a hell of a lot smarter than that, and that sly bastard's disguise will blindside the best. Notice, recognize, wake up and realize that survival of the fittest didn't just go away. Thus, we must evolve our minds today. For tomorrow may be too late to prevent a fire in the sky or a plague of fragmented ignorance. We wouldn't know what to do because we've never had to. The stars of the living room war pay their dues with thank yous and come agains at your local Walmart for a minimum wage. We have no clue what they went through. But do we really need to when our parents and theirs have described each detail so well that hell, even I know where I was when Kennedy was shot? Face it. Existentialism in the wrong hands leads to holocausts and undelivered pizzas, not to mention the best minds of our generation panhandling on street corners, begging, pleading for change. Can you spare some change? Can you afford not to? Change is the only constant. We have it in our back pockets, just in case things don't go quite as planned, and they never do. But it's the same old play with modern actors. The turn of the century is self-evidently met with revolutionary thought. Pablo Picasso met the 20th century with rarefied thought, and Albert Einstein played Mary Shelley's creator, and boom! They were off changing the world, a concern for the collective that cannot be called altruistic, but optimistically and rationally egotistical, a demand for quality and equality for those who are willing to work for it. And we, yes, you and I, coeval common man and intellectual alike, have met our century with fear. The only change most can muster is manifest in hair color and lattes, so then it's no wonder that when the computer guy from Sector G said, boss, I think there might be a problem, that the masses played telephone like schoolgirls in PJs on a Saturday night.
00, you say? Think of the blackouts, the riots. Now I heard Nosferatu predicted the birth of the Antichrist. Nostradamus, you mean? Oh yeah, him too.
And like that, Chicken Little convinced the farm that the sky was indeed falling, so they scurried off to their caves with cases of Evian and Easy Mac in hand, while using the other hand to pray for a hero to save the day. You know, like in the movies. So when the clock struck 12 and the mouse ran down without a hitch, paranoia spread like an epidemic, and it settled on the shoulders of the crowd. Fear and denial. Not a favorable combination. Pills were preferred by 4 out of 5 feminist housewives, but most just settled for an after-school special, or whatever was on after Jeopardy. And there they sat and sit, with their noses glued to the little window through which they observed the world at a safe but close distance. Too bad the angle's a little skewed. It's another chapter, read backwards, where the heroine unmeets the hero, and the unsung glory reverts to the tongue of a hopeful yet bashful young prince, and the reprise is rewritten with prescient refrains, foreshadowing the inevitable.